Hey everybody, this is hello. Okay. Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti, and this is day 91 of my 100 days of working on my anthology story for the THEE100s anthology book to werewolves and unicorns and other mythical creatures. Just waiting for the video to pop up so I could shut it off. And it's not happening. All right. I don't know what the delay is. Anyway, so yeah, so working on this Aquaman pinup, which I'll finish today. That's really weird. I'm gonna go away from it and it's gonna start up. I just know it. All right. So, okay. So you can see this better. This is the piece. I like the way it's coming out. It says I'm live. I don't know if for whatever reason, maybe because I have to reboot the page, but yeah. Unless I hear myself in echo, I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, so where am I? Okay, so I signed it. Gary Odd Edmond penciled this piece, and I signed it because he didn't sign it, and I figured they could add their names digitally. That's Odd, as well as Sammy Flores, who's going to be coloring this piece after I finish it. Get it scanned and sent to him. So I want to talk about two things today, and hopefully my neighbors won't stop making a lot of noise. So a bunch of people walking around. It's nice weather out today. So I was wondering how to do his tattoos, and I just decided I'm going to use my Rapidograph, aka technical pen, to just go in and give it a thin outline. And hopefully that will do the trick. You know, Sammy can, what do they call it? Do drop colors. You know, color the shape and then drop out the exterior line if he so chooses, or just go with it as is. So yeah, two things. Multitasking. If you've been following along, I got too much going on, and you know, some of it like YouTubing, you know, which I've been constantly doing now. I don't really. It's part of what I do, but it's also not what I consider my workload. Yes, it is work, but and it does take away from doing art. But I got multiple art things I'm doing, and this and the last Aquaman pinup were definitely one of the things I've been doing on the side of a bunch of other things. The Anthology story has definitely been one. Me getting ready to kickstart my comic retro involves some art, although I'll be getting into a lot more of that very soon. It's more like juggling the art stuff when it comes down to it. There's always going to be sort of the business side of being a freelance artist and, looking for work or posting about, hey, I'm open for commissions or whatever have you. That's almost relaxing. It's not using my creative brain. So when it comes up to multitasking, I want to try to keep more focused on keeping it down to a minimum. Okay. I hope this is working. Let me go to the page just for my own state of mind. It says I'm live. My internet's a little low at the moment. I'm pretty sure this is all working. And I know I have to reboot my computer. My browser's been a little slow. And supposedly, I use Chrome. Supposedly Chrome updates automatically. So I don't think it's a problem with being updated. So it's taking a second. My internet's a little low at the moment. Okay. All right, it's working. Good. If you're watching and you wish to chat, please feel free. As soon as my page opens up, I'll see if anybody's chatting. Yeah, it's a little slow. I only got one thing, like 2 windows open. I got the video window and the Hangout window. So I'm getting away from being focused. And the chat hasn't opened yet, but I see one person watching. I'm sorry, I've been doing these Hangouts and not responding to chats. I saw Ronnie. I saw Abe. Comment in a chat and was like, hey, where is everybody? Why isn't the chat window part open? Oh, it says, okay, maybe it's just taking a second. There we go. All right, nobody's chatting. Gotta make sure to be a responsible YouTuber. All right, so to get back to multitasking, yeah, I really want to get better focus on my art and be less like, oh, I'm working on this project, I'm working on that project, even though it's sort of something I want to conquer. I know I'm not exactly there yet. So I want to try to keep that part of my workload down to a smaller number. And it's about knowing where you stand and what what abilities you want to stretch. So I hope the picture is better for you. Yeah, this is right side up. It seemed to have corrected some of the major issues. I'm always going to be fine tuning my my videos and hangouts and streams. You know, and whatnots. So yeah, here we got Aquaman from the movie, and he's got these sleeves and stuff of all his tats. I don't know what that is. I might have to look that up. That looks a little. I don't know if he rushed it a little bit, or if the tattoo is like that. I'm not going to do it right now because I'll probably lose quality in my stream, if not my stream entirely. So I'm just gonna hold out. All right, so I'm looking at the eyes. It's almost like this one's completely black, and this one has a pupil. I'll go with this one. Okay. I could do this with a quill. I just happen to have this in my hand, so sometimes I just go with whatever's in my hand. Yeah, so I know how far to push myself as far as covering a lot of projects at the same time because um right now I'm gearing up for this Kickstarter and sort of like I'm relieved to a certain extent at the moment because it seems to be getting a good response from my posts on Facebook and Instagram. Just stated the other day that, hey, warning, I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter soon, and people are congratulating me and seem to be happy for me, which is great. Doesn't mean to go in pledge, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not worried about getting funded in the first 24 hours. As long as the book gets funded, period. If it takes 30 days, it takes 30 days, right? But it seems like, I know a number of my friends are really excited, as am I. And, because of the Kickstarter, because of this anthology story, because of this other inking gig I got to do, and I got to get more focused. And therefore, what I might just do is just call it a day on this. I was planning to do another Aquaman pinup, which I would pencil and ink. But that's time I could put into working on my retro comic, which there's plenty of work on that to do. The other day, if you haven't already seen it, I posted on my Instagram. I've come up with a logo for Has Comics previously, There was one that was in a word balloon. There's one with, in the word balloon with stars on it, and it was kind of like, that's cute and snazzy and whatever. I can get a professional iteration of that. But I just sat down with a pencil and paper the other day, and I was like, I'm not going to think of anything too original, but I want something that looks slightly different. So I did has as like three-dimensional letters at an angle. Woohoo! So original. And um, what I did do that I loved is I thought of, well, you know, adding dude uh, to it. So it would be Has Comics Dude. And something about that made me very, very happy. And I knew that's what I should do. Um, so it'd be like, Has Comics Dude. Do you have Has Comics Dude? um, Brought back memories of, like the independent comics I grew up on, and even like the Robert Crumb sort of era of comics, like comics with an X. And I think I was, I think I'm on the right track. Um, so I'll get a iteration of that sort of made up for the Kickstarter. I have like no funds to put into going into my Kickstarter, which is highly unfortunate. And it's like I just can't hold off any longer. I got to do this, um, not only for people who want to see the book, but for myself mostly. It's like I'm not going to move forward unless I move forward, and it's not doing me any good waiting or shelving my personal projects. I mean, the whole idea behind the 100 days um, is to, yeah, make some progress on this, baby. So, I'm really excited and nervous and and worried and every feeling under the sun. Um, which I've always said in the past is like it's good to be nervous. um, so I know soon enough I'll be like really seriously sweating it, um, and loving it at the same time. So it's about to get down and dirty, making comics. Um, Sound like Gazbot. Um, so yeah, I love the idea of putting dude into my comic book name, publishing name, and eventually it'll be part of my company name too. Has Comics Dude Limited or whatever. Um, I feel like Terry Austin. I think Terry Austin inked with Technical Pens, which he's freaking fantastic. I don't know what he's up to now. He's probably an old man. Uh, Not that I'm a young man at this point, especially with my birthday coming out. Um, but so I did that, and I got that ready, and Yeah, I know I'm going to recolor the cover myself, and I gotta get the original art scanned at a high level so I can do it right. The problem with the the colored cover that everybody's already seen is that it was colored over a lousy scan, and it was sort of like uh, as as colorist on DeviantArt at the time uh, took it upon himself, or I forget exactly how it went down, but we talked at some point about possibility of him coloring retro one day, and I'm not sure if he colored the cover as a sample or I just gave him the wrong file or he colored over the wrong file. Anyway, I tried to print it out previously and it's just muddy. It's just not it doesn't work because it's low res and comes out super dark. And well, I like the colors on it. Well, number one, the costume colors are different now. If you see my Instagram, I came up with the final colors, which are it's red as in the purest of reds, and it's more of a blue purple than a red purple, so making a very distinctive difference. I think I said in a video, it's hard, it's harder and harder to keep track of what I've already said in videos. I've done too many failed attempts at editing some videos and said a lot of things, and that I eventually all erased. But yeah, I posted on my Instagram the final colors. If you look, there's a side by side with the different colors. It's the one on the left, and even after I commented on the thread, um, I did one in Facebook in my creator own group on Facebook, which is you'll find a lot of my links in the description box below the videos. If you didn't know already, there's a creator-owned YouTube channel if you weren't aware. You can go and subscribe to. I'll be making a video on that channel very soon. I'll also mention that I wanted to do a spotlight on one of the people from Creator Own, and everybody. I think all but one person voted for me to be the first spotlight. Spotlight video. So what I might do is have my friend Chuck Pignon, who I have to message. I might have him interview me in like a hangout or something, because it's kind of like I'm going to make a video history of me, and I've done that. I've talked about my history in plenty of videos on this channel, on my channel, Peter Palmiotti channel. So I need another voice to ask me specific questions. So, and Chuck's an awesome kid. He's an awesome kid. He's a man. He's a he's a great guy. So if not him, then I'll see who's available. So we can get something up. I mean, I think by next week I'll have my first creator-owned YouTube channel video up, and then the following week be a spotlight on me and my career, and hopefully by then I'll be talking about my highly successful Kickstarter. that I'm so nervous about. And then, I have a couple of ideas. I want to do some how-tos on that channel specific to comic book makers and the like. Um, so yeah, go subscribe there if you haven't. Subscribe here if you haven't. If you are watching this right now, hit the like button because I need to freaking grow this channel so I could start really bringing some money on this. On get no return on this whatsoever. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, then I could put ads on my videos again. And once I can do that, a little change will come my way, which will definitely help in the big picture of me being a creator and all that. And maybe I could put some a lot more serious money into this endeavor. God knows I need to. I need to. I would love to. We have a big college in town, and I was thinking the other day I've been having so many troubles with my video quality of like pulling one of those kids out of class and, and having him come over here and saying, "What the freak am I doing wrong?" Because I go from good quality in one video to like I don't know what the hell I'm doing in the next video, and it's just frustrating as hell. But it seems to be okay at the moment. But yeah, I want to really cut down the number of artistic things I'm doing. Well, I know it's like one of the things I'm learning by working on my comic is that I'm not where I want to be, so I gotta do what I'm doing a lot more. And I would say I'm definitely drawing a lot more. But I need to like pencil and ink a lot more, and you know, and hey, I need to pull in some money as well. So what we do is like a lot of little pieces. Um, so yeah, yeah, just follow me on Instagram and see if I do that. If I don't do that, slap my wrist. Slap my wrist. This is so close to being done. Then I gotta erase the whole thing. Make sure I don't lose any line work. One of the challenges of doing traditional, if you erase the pencils off a page, then sometimes the quality completely fades away, and you're gonna go back and tighten up some lines. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. So what was the other thing? Oh, beyond my 100 days, I guess, which is part of what I was kind of already getting into. Like, I might just choose to try to do a whole bunch of um, sort of other people's characters fan art, but just like individual uh, pencil and ink drawings. See if I could improve my steps. And we'll see how that goes. Because I know I could be definitely a tighter penciler. And I definitely want to be, and I know I could be a lot more accurate as well. Because as an anchor, it's like I like somebody who's not necessarily super tight, but when I pencil, it's really loose, and the only time I do tight pencils are if it's just a pencil drawing. But if I know I'm going to ink it, I usually avoid doing that. But I want to get into more just doing tight pencils and then really inking over that. Let's see if I can do both very well. So, I have mentioned doing a lot more comic pages, and that would definitely be in the works. Once retro is out, I got other books I'll be getting out, but I want to do a bunch of one shots. I want to make a living at this for a career. So we'll see. So above and beyond my 100 days, I might take a little bit of a break. But since I'll have the Kickstarter, I'm sure I'll be talking with a lot of people online and pretty much doing sales, as much of a sales pitch. As well as, just posting everywhere, maybe live streaming on Facebook, as well as YouTube. I may not do like I've been doing, like a video a day here on YouTube, which I think will help me to keep the quality up, because I feel like I've been trying to do a video every day or thereabouts, and sometimes I'm rushing ahead and the quality isn't quite there. But I have mentioned that I will be scanning what I've done thus far. So I'm going to save that. Maybe I'll start on tonight, or maybe I'll release it tonight. But my next video, since this is technically free yesterday, I forget what day I should be on, but it's really pretty much coming up in just a week's time. So, hey, Squashy, what's up? How are you doing? You're making some art? I'm gearing up for my end of days of 100 days and finishing up my story, which I cannot wait, and bring a lot more focus to my schedule. I'll finish my anthology story. I'll finish these Aquaman prints. I'll be focused on client inks I got to do. I'll be focused on, working on retro and doing a lot of drawing and inking practice. I think if I do that, then pretty much I'll be inking things across the board. So I'll be inking a lot more, which is always good. My true number one love. And yeah, getting the word out for my retro. So maybe I'll see if I can get on the radio in town. We have a radio station that's on Main Street. The dog. It being a small town, it's like, I think it's part country, if not full-on country. Let's see. I will be soon. Just getting ready for work and be comic booking once I'm there. Awesome. Over here, it's kind of a nice day. It's a little overcast, but I have some of my cats are outside enjoying the nice weather. Most of them are inside, but asleep in various places. But it took me a couple hours this morning to, okay, I fed them and gave them attention and play with them a little bit. I got to wear them out, which wears me out, which is a problem. But since they share my space, I got no choice. All right, stop slamming the door. My neighbor. But yeah, I think things are rolling along. Things are progressing. So, I will continue to be on YouTube. I might take a day or two break after day 100. I think what I might be doing, and just I was kind of asked. Street cats kept you up all night, wailing away. Yeah. We have a lot of stray cats here. If anything, every once in a while, I hear a couple of them getting into turf wars or something. You know how those street cats are. But I haven't experienced any whalers in my neck of the woods. So there's no official word, but Jeff Lafferty asked me if I wanted to join him and Scott Circle in in a working hangout, pretty much like Artcasters, but unofficial. I don't know if it's just one and done or because we used to hang out as a group together back in the day. Yeah, it would be awesome if we can get Kevin Cross. I don't know his schedule of late, but I see him less and less. Um, if you didn't know, Kevin Cross invented the 100 Days of Making Comics, which I don't mention enough. And he recently had some of his band songs in Deadly Class, which I still have to watch. But he's got his Patreon page, and he's working on his Monkey Mod comic, and I think I'm going to be able to get a letter in the comics in the letter section of his first issue, which would be phenomenal. So we'll see about that. And yeah, I want to do a letters page for my comic, definitely. I think what I'm going to do is seek out certain creators and send them a PDF at some point and say, hey, would you be interested in writing a letter for my comic for the first issue? So have them sort of read it, experience it, and then write whatever they want to say, and actually have a letters page in the first issue. Because it's like I grew up on comics from the 60s to the 90s mostly, and all of them had letters pages. I know there's the internet and you can read everything as it happens, but the letters page will always be a special place as far as I'm concerned. So it would be especially great if I can get some peers and friends to write their thoughts on my comic. It's definitely a rad idea. So we'll see how that all works out. I got plenty to do before that. Yeah, this month is going to be hardcore, heavy workload for me, and I know I mentioned this before, but it's like I gotta bring in money while doing a Kickstarter, and it's like not the ideal thing. But I was talking to a friend, an artist friend of mine. What was it, last night? And he's like, you're never gonna find a perfect time. You just got to go for it. And I completely agree. At the same time, I'm sort of forgetting that. It's like, oh, I want this done and I want that done, and it's just it's not perfect timing for this reason, for that reason, and it's like all reasons and excuses and whatever. And it's like the only way to move forward is to just make things happen sometimes. So it's definitely going to be the case. It's like I know I'm not fully ready, but there's a good chunk of it done, and I mean, I've seen Kickstarters and I pledged to Kickstarters that they didn't ship books out for like 3 months after the Kickstarter, which is fine. Um, and that's probably what I'm gonna set mine at, just being conservative. and make sure I get it done and it's not rushed, and get it all shipped out. Oh, I do want to show something off, and okay, I'll get to that in a minute. I did pledge to a friend of mine's Kickstarter not too long ago. He pretty much, he had his, it was for a sketchbook, and he had his sketchbook done when he started his Kickstarter, probably. Uh, I mean, it wasn't printed, but um, I think it was done or pretty close to done. Might have had certain things for it finished along the way, but it's my friend John Boy Myers. If you've heard of him, if you haven't, he's on Facebook. He's on Instagram, and he's just a fantastic artist. He's sort of, some might know him like he was supposed to be doing, like during Teen Titans. So he sort of redesigned them. But he's done a lot of cover work and pinup work, and he's always posting like new sketches, and really really like his work. It's sort of like a little Joe Maddish. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at what I'm doing and know that I have to go in and erase the pencils, then give it another hard look once I do, and maybe tighten up some of the lines. Uh, I'm never truly done. I do a little bit of back and forth. Once I kind of finish inking, I I erase the pencils. I look it over. I tweak. I look it over. Because I don't want to miss any like black areas I was supposed to fill in. Some line work I missed. Some things that don't pan out. I have to finish this show later. I gotta get my squashy ass to work. All right, man. Thanks for coming and checking out the show. Glad to have you here. Um, I'll see you around the internets for sure. Maybe I can get you on the show one day. Yeah, so John Boy Myers, he's always at San Diego. He does a lot of conventions. He's done a number of, what are those? Not Dungeons and Dragons, the other ones, the famous ones that I don't play, so I don't always remember what they're called. He's done a lot of work for them. He's got like the best colorist coloring his books and artwork and whatnot. Well, he did this sketchbook to finance working on his own personal project. And I know I mentioned him before. You too, man. Thank you. I will have a good day. So I'm just going to finish. Let's see. So it looks like I had a lot of people. So this is where I'm at. What do I got? This little bit here, I'm just going to double check like what his tattoos look like. The hair is kind of all done. I got these lines that look like that, go there. And I got some feathering here. But pretty much it's all done. And if I got some lines here as well. if I haven't mentioned, I did put in some time on my comic. You know, it's supposed to be 30 minutes, but I'll be right back in 1 second. See, I'm going to just show you this really quickly. Then I'll be moseying on to my own work. So this is Volume 2 sketchbook. That's the slipcase. Is a poster that's pretty much this. I mean, look at those colors. Man, that's gorgeous. And this is the book itself. So that's John Boy Myers. And he usually, on Instagram, it's John Boy Myers 007 007. But if you go to www.johnboymyers.com, you'll find out all about him. And he signed the front of it. But that was some of his Teen Titan re-envisioning the characters and the costumes, which is very cool. Other characters, that's like the tower re-envisioned to the max. I love that. I don't know if they ever used it, but he did a bunch of covers, which are pretty fantastic. I don't want to show you everything, but he did some Spawn work. Todd McFarlane. This is more Spawn. And some other characters. Oh, is it Masters of the Coast? I don't know. You know, D&D type card games, all that. Now, this is the Inhumans. He did the Royals miniseries, I think. I don't know. It's like, well, I love his work. I'm not really interested in Inhuman, you know, Marvel mostly nowadays. But it's just gorgeous. If he was, you know, Teen Titans holds a special place in my heart. If he actually worked on that book, it would have been one of the few DC or Marvel books I would have picked up. But it is just gorgeous work, and just, yeah, some of his pinups and covers. I mean, look at these colors. Flash, Harley Quinn, bunch of DC cover work, Super Sons, Superman. Yeah, it's just great work. And yeah, I really couldn't afford this, but not only is he an old buddy of mine, we worked on a comic way back in the day before anybody knew him by name, some X-Men redesigns. And it was called Coil, and unfortunately the writer wanted to own the work, and wait, let me click on this. The writer wanted to own the property, and he wanted to just do the comic, and I inked the first issue. And yeah, he wanted to bring in lawyers, the writer, and yeah, so it went south, but still love John Boy. It was like, I told John Boy, oh, you should publish one of the pieces we did in your sketchbook. And he's like, no, the quality of that isn't up to par with what he's doing now. Which, yeah, I totally agree. But but it would have been fun for me alone. And John Boy would have cringed. But yeah, so I mean, one day I hope to have. I mean, he calls this a sketchbook. I would love to have an art book of this quality. My comic's just going to be like a regular standard comic. Like retro. I'm not. I don't plan to do newsprint. I plan to do just regular printing, possibly Kablam. We shall see. Lots of tiny decisions I have to make before doing a Kickstarter, and then I'll let people know when I launch. I probably won't do the launch live, but I'll probably go live after I launch it. Here and on Facebook. Yeah, so I posted the link to Retro not only in the description box of the video, but as a comment below the video. So you can go there, and I'll make sure to post more regularly there with information and updates, and if I do any live streams when they're coming up and whatnot. But yeah, this has been day 90 of me working on my anthology story, and let's see if I can find the latest page. And it much like everything else is buried, but this page, which I promised yesterday, if I didn't finish it yesterday, I would finish it today. So this is what I got to work on tonight. So I may do a video tonight. I will definitely be back tomorrow if I don't. Love you all. Please subscribe if you haven't, like, comment, all that jazz, and stay tuned for more. The journey continues as always. Love ya. Take care, everybody. Bye.